Hey guys, how's it hanging everybody? This is StormPow, and today I'm here to give you guys a video that was pretty widely requested during one of my previous Dragon Ball live streams, and you guys wanted to know kind of the daily grind in Dragon Ball Legends. But in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the step-by-step instructions that I recommend you do each and every single day, kind of as your daily grind. These are, in my opinion, things that you've got to be doing if you want to continue to grow your account in the game and get better and get your teams better, get better units, yada, 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 yada. Anyway, guys, so of course, just click through some of this stuff here, collect any of your daily rewards. Now, the only thing is when you do get a choice, obviously, I recommend in essentially every single scenario that you're going to want to get the 10 Chrono Crystals. It may not sound like a lot. You know, you may be thinking, well, StormPow, why should I do that when I can get a whole summon from one of the Master Pack tickets there on the middle row? That's valid. I mean, also the second choice might be the 25 energy, just depending on if you're like grinding a whole lot, but really 25 energy isn't that much. I would go ahead and go for the 10 Chrono Crystals, especially if you're a more experienced player. Now, the reason I say that is because if you are a newer player, you've got a lot of story mode missions left to complete, and you can get 10 Chrono Crystals pretty easy. If you're a more experienced player, you've knocked out all the story, you don't have that luxury, I always recommend going with that. But, you know, like I said, energy is a good second choice. I would not go with the Master Pack tickets, though, because those are extremely plentiful and not really that great. Anyway, once you go through here, check any of the news or anything that might be relevant to you. But in most cases, we're just going to want to go ahead and close all this stuff out. You may have a bunch of other messages coming up, but you can click Don't Show Me Again if you want to do that. By the way, guys, before we get too much more into this, I do want to ask you to like the video if you're enjoying this, and make sure to subscribe if you're not already and you want to see more Dragon Ball content. Also, shout out to our channel members whose names I will make magically pop up to my side over here. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. I love and appreciate you guys. And also be sure to tune into the Nimbus Cast podcast that we host here on the channel as well. Make sure you got the bell notifications and all that good jazz on so that way you don't miss any of that. But anyway, so what we're going to do now is just kind of run through everything. This is actually genuinely the first time I've logged on today. So this is, you know, pretty similar to what you might be seeing. I've got through notifications here. So the first step is to always run through any notifications. And what I mean are, you know, anything with a circle and a number around it. So first thing I usually do is go ahead and collect any adventures that I've got done. So we'll go ahead and complete this here and go ahead. I fill up every single slot that I can on the adventures. So I just click Start Adventure, and usually I will prioritize with one of the event ones. And what I mean by that is, like, you'll see up here this hidden treasure one. You know, that's just a weekend adventure. You know, it's nothing special. You'll want to look for the ones that say job rank special, and usually there's some sort of event for that, and we'll talk about that more in a second. So I'll prioritize with these. I just hit accept, and then I hit auto select, and it's going to go ahead and fill in the units that will, you know, best achieve this. Now, one thing to note real quick before you click Start Adventure, just make sure that none of the units in here are ones that you are wanting to train or level up closer to 5,000, because they can only do training or an adventure, one or the other. So make sure, you know, that none of these are people that you need occupied. Rule of thumb is if they're already at level 5,000, then absolutely there's no way that you need them for training. So go ahead, Start Adventure, and we will rinse and repeat this for the other two over here. And then what I'm going to do once I've filled up and prioritized with these two that are on the event, then I may select any additional adventures that may come along. So like in this case, you know, I've got two other slots here, and there's one more adventure for a treasure. So we'll go ahead and do that one there. The reason why I prioritized with the other ones is because, for one, you have a limited number of slots, and for two, you know, just wanted to make sure that the best units possible went to that one over there. So we've already got some more missions now from that. So we'll go to train over here. I just usually kind of go in order, and we'll collect any units here that are done training. So I just got Ginyu Goku up to level 5,000. That's awesome. So you can make sure to run through here and put any other units in training that you'd like to, you know, if they're not currently being occupied in a adventure. So in this case, I'll just find somebody to go ahead and throw in a training. How about you, Mr. Yellow Gohan? Why don't we level you up a little bit here? So just throw anybody in training that you need to and call it good there. Now the next thing is, usually you're going to want to go to missions, and honestly those are the three that you'll probably have notifications on anyways: adventure, train, and mission. So we'll go to mission here. Usually do that one last, since you'll have unlocked a few missions actually from doing this. As you can see, there's usually that daily mission of embarking on an adventure, which we just did. So we'll go ahead and just hit accept all on that, even though there's obviously way more. So one thing that you're going to want to go ahead and do is, again, just collect any other pending, rewards that you may have, just to kind of get those out of the way and build up some resources for your daily grind here. And let's go ahead and do that. Make sure to always do your mission plan. I recommend doing the Battle Lovers plan, especially if you are a little bit more experienced and you're playing PvP. It definitely has the best rewards, and it's really not that hard to achieve the missions in there. If you take a look here, let's see, take a look at the mission list, and you see, I mean, a lot of it is just logging in every day and using a bunch of energy. And then there's certain rewards, of course, for winning in PvP, but honestly, you don't even have to win that much. As long as you're just playing ranked PvP, you're good to go. But if you do these daily grinds, this is kind of formed around achieving that. So we'll be, embarking on adventures regularly, logging in every day, and things like that. So the next thing that we're going to want to go ahead and do is, of course, knock out the other daily missions over here. So let's see, once that loads, so we're going to want to do the Let's Fight, and I'll show you guys a couple of other events here. But if you see, traditionally, these are your daily missions here. To do the Let's Fight, go on an adventure, use about 10 energy, land the Rising Rush one time, and then you're good to go. So we'll go ahead and go to event over here, and let's see, let's of course go ahead and do at least one of these Let's Fight. I recommend doing the Let's Fight 3, since it offers 10 energy over here, so as opposed to the other ones. So let's go ahead and do that. You can do all 3 if you'd like to, if you need the energy, but if you're only going to do one, I recommend doing Let's Fight 3, like if you don't have a lot of time or anything like that. Usually, like me, if it's a day where I'm not really dedicating a lot of time to Legends, I just want to get in and out and knock it out. So let's go ahead and do this. But these are really great things to do while you're sitting on the toilet, or your teacher's going on in a Zoom class and you're bored and you don't know what to do. Whatever. You're sitting at your desk at work. These are really great things to do to just kind of kill some time. Even if, it's not a day that you have a ton of time to dedicate to Legends, then you're good to go. So, now what we've got is we are good to go on the Let's Fight. So we have 10 crystals to redeem just for that. Now I recommend going through here and going to the story and running through some of these. Because these are really good. Like this one, for example, over here, I still have a couple missions to run through on this, but most story ones will give you 10 crystals just for doing the mission for the first time. So as you can see, I honestly need to, get to work on this and knock out some of these. So I recommend, if you've got a little bit more time and you can play a little bit more actively, run through anything, literally anything under this story column that you have not yet completed. So, like you can go in here and just complete the next mission on one of these, like I said, because it's a really great way to get crystals and other resources. You can also go ahead and go to recommended. I recommend taking a look. They a lot of times do super scout battles, which are really cool. Make sure to use 3 skip tickets on this and go ahead and run through this 3 times, because again, we're thinking about at least getting to 10 energy used today, so that way we can get our daily missions. So this is a good way to now have us at 4 energy used, 3 from this and 1 from the Let's Fight. And of course, if there is any kind of champion bonus, you'll see the thing up here. Usually it's got Hercule on it. Do that as well. That's a really great way to get 50 crystals and use up an energy. You can go over here and do the other 2 Let's Fights to get some energy. And yeah. Now, the other thing that I'm not going to, bore you guys with the details here, because you can kind of do it your own way, is just pick something that you want to do some skip tickets on, and at least do about 5 or 6 of those. So that way you get up to level 10 on your energy used. So what you're going to want to do is find something that needs a little bit of grinding, assuming you've already knocked out all these story mode missions, or if you don't have the time to actually play something and you just need to really quick blow through 10 energy and skip ticket something, go to one of these stories here that you have already completed, or a lot of times you can do it in the recommended as well. And so, for example, find something like this Frieza story that I've already beaten, and find something that needs to be grinded a little bit. So you can do that. So, for example, we'll find this one over here that we can run through an unlimited amount of times. And I'm just going to give it, I think 6 skip tickets. I'm really bad at math, but I think that'll put us at 10 energy here. So, in this way, I'm getting some resources. I'm getting some Awakening Z power for this EX Frieza. You can do it for anything else, though, that you've got that has something that can be skip ticketed. Now, if you haven't cleared any of these stories or none of these really care to interest you, then let's see. You can also go to upgrade, and you can't go wrong with any of these. These are all resources that you can definitely use. You could run through and do 6 skip tickets on like the Zenny bonus battle, or on one of these can't speak today, one of these soul bonus battles, and get some extra souls for a certain color. So really, really easy ways to knock out 10 energy. As you can see, we've used up 10 energy and we haven't even done anything at all, hardly. We just had to play through that one match. Now, one other thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go to summon, and I'm going to show you guys. Basically, I don't have any huge recommendations for summoning, because if you're watching this video, you're probably trying to save your crystals. However, also by the same token, if you're watching this video, you're probably fairly new at the game. So there are a couple of summoning things that I recommend doing when you're new. Any kind of banner like this that has a daily summon for 20 crystals, I highly recommend doing that. So I'll go ahead and run through this. And the reason for that is just because it's a really good deal, and you can only do it once per day. So it's not like you're necessarily draining every single bit of crystals that you're getting. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip this animation because it looks like this one's gonna be garbage, but I have pulled featured units from these daily discount summons. So, they are not all trash, but I think 20 crystals is a pretty good price to pay. You can also do these weekend summons, but I think 100 crystals is like a little bit less of like a deal. The only way that I would recommend doing that is if you really want one of these units, and not even these LF or Legends limited units. I would recommend, if you are interested in maybe one of these sparking units, to go ahead and do it, just because the odds of actually pulling one of the LFs from a single is not the highest, but you do have a 50% chance for a sparking. So if one of those sparking featured units or anything on this Z power list that is sparking or otherwise interests you, then might be worth doing. But if you've been playing the game for a little while and none of these units are really interested in you, and you've already pulled them, you don't need dupes or anything, I say go ahead and ignore that. That's 100 crystals not so well spent. But yeah, run through here. And as far as the other ones that have the daily discounts, again, it just kind of all matters on what you are looking for. So for example, I'm not really like too interested in doing any of this like super master pack, even though it is only 20 crystals for a daily discount summon. I'm not really that interested, just because I've already got pretty much all the units in this pack that I care for. But if you're new, I recommend doing as many daily discounts as you can until you run out of crystals, essentially, just because it's a really cheap way to start building up your repertoire of units. So also, you can go over here to tickets, because throughout the days you may have run into some free tickets that you can use to do some summons, which is, again, really great way to get some units. I've pulled some good stuff off of tickets. Doesn't look like this is going to be one. Oh, it absolutely was not. But not to say that it doesn't happen. And you can build up tickets really quickly just by playing the game and not even realizing it. Like, I have apparently 4 tickets for the Legends All-Star. I have some EX or higher Super Master Pack. I could do some whole multis on these other Master Packs. The ticket, or the units that you get, are usually not that great, but I mean, they're literally free. So you can run over here and do a multi or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Most of these are not time sensitive, so feel free to save them up and just do a multi all at once. See, it looks like I'm about to get this sparking Goku off of there. A couple other cool things here and there. So, really good stuff to do. And yeah, it looks like I got a sparking and 3 EXs. So, I mean, not the worst pull, considering it was a freebie. So I always recommend running through all those and clearing yourself out of any tickets that you've got at the end of the day, just to make sure that you're doing that and getting all the units that you have. Now, one thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we are going to enter PvP. The main reason for that is because we do need to make sure we get the Rising Rush accomplished. And for our battle plan, we need to make sure that we're actually playing PvP, because you can do the Rising Rush obviously in PvE modes, but we want to make sure that we are playing some PvP. So we're going to go ahead and hop into a match and get our butts whooped. Preferably we're going to win, but the main thing is that we are playing PvP in ranked mode, and that we are landing the Rising Rush once a day. Again, you can technically land that Rising Rush in any game mode. It doesn't really matter, but you may as well get it in PvP, because we need to play PvP for our battle plan anyway. And there we go. So we just actually won the PvP match. I hope you guys liked the start that I had to the match, where I went to go check my laptop over there off screen. I'd heard a notification from it, and then I was like, oh crap, they already readied up and everything. But so we've gotten that, and now we have gotten the Rising Rush. So as you can see, we've got now 11 missions to claim rewards for. So we should be all good to go on our dailies over here. So let's go ahead and collect that, which will give us 35 freaking crystals, which is great. We can go do another daily discount summon if we want. Let's go ahead and claim our little PvP rewards here for the battle plan. And then let's go over here, go to here, and just, yeah, claim anything else that you've got. And again, you know, like I always recommend, if you're new, go play the story mode. That's a really great way to get lots and lots of crystals. But as far as just kind of a daily, make sure you do all these things. This is kind of my quick, long and short of it. Just to let you guys know certain things that I recommend doing. Now, if you want to make sure that you get the Rising Rush, of course, just make sure that you're using cards during the PvP match that have the little Dragon Ball icon next to it. That is the best way to secure that you are using your Dragon Balls. Say it's a quicker match like that, where I just barely was able to do the Rising Rush, but just make sure you're doing that to expedite the process a little bit. But again, there's certain things depending on exactly where you're at in the game that you want to make sure you do. But overall, this is just kind of my quick things that I recommend you do for pretty much anybody, no matter where you're at for in the game. But if you did enjoy the video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, guys. And let me know down in the comments below what other things you would like to see, either like Dragon Ball Legends discussion videos on, or tutorials or anything like that. But other than that, guys, I would like to thank y'all for watching. I hope you have a nice day, and goodbye.